Hey everyone, Soundwave 884 here, and today we're going to take a look at today's Action Master Transformers. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, I think it's around 1990, we transitioned to Action Master Transformers, which where the Transformer did not transform, but his accessories transformed. This is what we had back then. This is an Action Master Bumblebee. I don't have an Action Master Prime. I have them too. I have to go looking, but this guy was readily available. And so this is what we had back then. Points of articulation, you could do shoulders like that. Heads could turn. You had some hips and some knees, and that is practically all your articulation you got out of these guys. And they're pretty much the same height here as the Super 7 stuff, which is pretty much like G.I. Joe height, 3 3/4 inches. So that's what we had back then. Of course, back then they cost probably around like $5. They require about $20 a piece to purchase these guys, and that goes for both of these. So you can see there's a big size difference, big articulation difference, but there's a reason why the cost is what it is, and we'll get to that in the video. We're going to examine which of these is the best non-transforming Transformer, or you can say Action Master Transformer, to own. It's just a little series I like to call Comparison Time. First up, we're going to take a look at the packaging. Here on the left, we have Super 7's packaging. Of course, here on the right, we have Hasbro's R.E.D packaging. Just out of a packaging standpoint, Super 7 really nails the a good look here. It's retro, it's nostalgia, it's based off the old Star Wars art cards. That's the whole point of the ReAction. You see the word ReAction is sort of written how Kenner was written back then in the late 70s, early 80s, and that's what they're going for. These have that nostalgic, old-fashioned Star Wars figure feels, where it has very limited articulation. The proportions, while are okay, the heads are usually slightly exaggerated to be kind of out of scale or proportion a little bit. It's not exactly accurate to the source material, and so that's what that's going for. But it has lovely card art. The Optimus Prime drawing is beautiful. The whole card just looks great, and it's like something you could actually just hang on the wall as just a piece of art, or just something to throw you back to a simpler time. Now the R.E.D, which stands for Robot Enhanced Design, from Hasbro, this packaging is not really that much. It doesn't stand out. It's red, so the color stands out, but overall it's just very bland, kind of blends in with the current stuff. And instead of being black boxes, they're red boxes, so it kind of looks like the Walmart 35th kind of box. Turn it to the side. Now the artwork is very nice on the side of each character. Here we see Optimus Prime, and the paint is chipping off of him, flying up into the sky, and it makes that little breakage effect. Now I say the Optimus Prime art itself is beautiful. The overall package design to me is kind of bland and doesn't really stand out. Very generic, I would say, for just something you want to pop on the shelf. Now turn to the sides, you can see it's this window. This window here will show you all your accessories you get when you turn the box. I'll just promise this piece would be right inside there. Then we turn to the back, and it just has good artwork, or the concept art and stuff, of the Optimus Prime. And you look over here on Super 7s, and you get showing who's in the way, which is very much like Star Wars used to. I always loved when the back of the packages showed you all the figures that were coming out, so you could checklist it, you could look at it and see who's coming out and know who you want. You can sit there and plan who you're going to get next. That's one thing I missed from the 80s and stuff like that, and Transformers would come with those checklists in the packages. I wish they would do that again, just so we know. But now it's all, for collectors. It's like, oh, you gotta, this is an exclusive here, this is an exclusive there, you gotta buy this one online. It's crazy nowadays, but who's coming out, when they're coming out, and how you're going to acquire them. So I would say, just overall for packaging, I enjoy Super 7s. It's just a card art. It's not anything fancy, but I think it just takes me back to being a kid, and that's what I like. Alright, so let's move on to accessories, what these figures come with. Here is the R.E.D Optimus Prime. Here is the Super 7 Optimus Prime. And their accessories, well, you see all of his right here. It comes with this gun. That's all Super 7's comes with. But the Robot Enhanced Design Optimus Prime comes with a plethora of accessories. He's got changeable hands, his battle axe, his ion blaster, and the matrix of leadership, which can come out and go right there in his chest. The reason I haven't really done that is I want to do it on camera when I actually review the individual figures, which I'm going to do individual figure reviews for each of the Red Series figures. Or this is just to compare the new Action Master Transformers, pretty much what you can say. But with the robot enhanced design, you get a lot of accessories. And with Megatron, for the Red series, you get interchangeable hands. One hand is holding the Energon Cube, so it doesn't come out. And he also has his mace as well. And now the Super7's accessory was pretty much just a fusion cannon. I can't remember if it actually came separate or it was actually already molded to his arm. So I think he just came out of the package as is, like this. So that is what you get with Megatron. Let's take a look at Soundwave. Now, Super7 Soundwave came with his gun right here. You had to put that in his hand. Now, the Red... Oops, he fell right over. Surprising, because he's just pretty much flat-footed there. Now, the Red Enhanced comes with his gun here, which you'll have to put in his hand, but you have to change out his hands first. He comes with these two molded hands. You also have to place this. Well, actually, I think this came on him, but pops out super easy. It doesn't go in very well. He also has two more interchangeable hands, so... He came with, I say less, but he does have a laser beak. It is right here inside his chest cavity. Push this down, and it pops out. And you just get laser beak out. And he does not transform. It is just a molded piece of plastic to look like laser beak in his chest. Maybe a miss. It doesn't transform. I think the whole point of this series is for them to not transform, but to look as cartoon accurate as possible. And that's what both these series were going for. Sort of cartoon looks. This is more simplified. These are like ACOM did it, and then here's your Toei. That's pretty much how you're going to look at that. Moving on to articulation, the comparison between articulation. Now, Super7, like I said, is just very easy, generic. You got the head turns, the shoulders. Then you have hips, then go out, slightly back, and that's all you got. There's nothing else. You don't have any waist articulation or anything like that. They're pretty simple. Let's take a look at Soundwave. Same stuff going on. You're not getting anything special out of that, and the Optimus Prime is going to be exactly the same. Just be aware of his little pointies. These are very hard plastics, so if you put too much pressure, you might be able to snap those right off. So that is your articulation from the Super7. Moving on to the Red Series Robot Enhanced Design. You got a decent amount of articulation. Shoulders can go to there. You have your swivels. You got your elbow joints. The wrists can swivel. Heads can go up, down. And they also have like a little weird ball joints where you can actually kind of get them to go a little bit more to the left and right. I mean, you get lots of down, up with these guys. Megatron. Now, Optimus Prime and Soundwave do not have this, but Megatron has an ab crunch. That's ratcheted. That is probably the best feature on the figure. These here can move slightly out of your way like this. You can get them out to the side. Problem is they should have done little cuts here to make the legs get more movement forward. It stops it on a lot of these figures. I can see why maybe they didn't want to try to. No, they didn't want to break up the look of this. You see on the Masterpiece how it looks all puzzled. It just looks weird. You got upper thigh swivels, knee bends. There's double joint. There's a joint here and a joint there, so you can pin them, move them at both spots, like so. He's got a slight angle tilt. It's not very deep, nothing like you're getting out of the War for Cybertron figures, and it can go forward and backwards. You get a little bit of toe tap, toe tilts. You got your 360 waist swivels. So you get a lot of articulation out of these figures. It's just certain things like I fear of breaking them, so that's probably the biggest complaint of these guys. We'll get to more of that in a minute. Let's now look at Soundwave. Alright, Soundwave's articulation is going to be exactly the same, minus the ab crunch. He does not have an ab crunch, and neither does Optimus Prime. The only thing with Soundwave is his head is so wide, and this cannon's right here. You will eventually hit that, and it can pop out fairly easily, so just be aware of that. Now, if you're wondering, how does these quality of these things feel? There's Optimus Prime. Got the same articulation as the other guys, no ab crunch though, which I think is a missed opportunity. They could have done it around the grill, but you get all the same stuff out of these guys. They look really good. The thing I would say most of these guys, if you own any Marvel Legends That's the quality I'm feeling out of these guys. You know, when you want to move the elbow joints or knee joints, and sometimes they're stiff, and you feel if you apply too much pressure, you could break the figure. That is how I feel about these guys. I'm afraid of breaking stuff. The plastic, while solid, and there's really no hollow bits to speak of on these figures, they're very solid in the plastic. The plastic feels cheaper, I guess, to make up for the cost of having to put so much into these guys. They just made it a little bit cheaper plastic. A lot of them also have like little imperfections, like there's like smudges. I don't understand. I guess people are dirty when they're handling these things, so you got some smudges on these guys. It's just, I'm afraid of breaking when someone doesn't want to move. I don't want to apply too much pressure because I feel like these things are just going to snap. So it makes me kind of scared to want to actually change out their hands, but I will do that in the actual review of these figures. Like I said, this is just a comparison review. I will be afraid to do that. I hate doing that on Marvel Legends figures already. I just feel like that little tiny peg, I'm going to bend it, snap it, or something, and I'm afraid I'm doing that with these figures here. Now, let's get to the overall cost and my final thoughts on these guys here, the R.E.D versus the Super 7. Alright, let's get to one of the biggest issues of these and my final thoughts. That is cost. Now, the ReAction figures from Super 7 retail for around $17.99. So you can say anywhere from 17 to 20 bucks. What you're going to find for it. That's in the United States. I know in some areas they're like $21.99 and stuff like that. But if you go to their website and go to stores, it's usually $17.99 or 18 bucks for these little 3 3/4 inch action figures with limited articulation and accessories. Now the R.E.D series, now Devastator is part of the Super 7. He's actually a little bit more expensive. He's about the size of them, so he's 6 inches. He was $23.99, so about 24 bucks will get you Devastator. Articulation is exactly the same as what you got on these guys. He's just bigger. Now I guess trying to make him a little bit more in scale of these, you know, it's really not the cartoon scale. Now the R.E.D figures, the robot enhanced design, cost $19.87 at Walmart in the United States. So you're looking for about $2 more. You're getting almost 3 more inches. So maybe size matters. You also get a plethora of accessories with each figure and loads of articulation. Now I would say, which one would you rather collect for the price? Which one gives you more bang for the buck? Well, of course, that's going to be the R.E.D series. The robot enhanced design is going to give you more bang for your buck. Now, the Super 7, though, it has more characters. Right here, I just have Wave 1. Soundwave, Starscream, Megatron, Bumblebee, Jazz, Prime. Devastator is like part of Wave 3 or something. But there's tons of characters already out. There's Insecticons, Astro Train, Shockwave. Other ones I don't have. The reason I stopped buying them is because they are so expensive for being so small. The quality doesn't really justify the price. Now, the reason they cost so much is because they're not made in like they're more limited in the supply. They don't make as many of these guys, most likely. And also, the company is more of what you could say, a niche market. It's just appealing and goes mostly like specialty stores, shops. Hot Topics will carry these, FYEs, then online. Target does have like Dead Optimus Prime and like toy metallic Megatron. But I think the reason why they cost more is because they probably don't make as many. They're just limited. So to get their money back, they're going to, of course, charge more. Now, when the ReAction figures first came around years ago, they are on retail from like $9.99 to like $12.99, I believe. Because I remember getting some because they look like throwbacks from my childhood, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool, and buy them. But now with them being $18 freaking dollars, that is really expensive. And just for $2 more, I can get what is behind them. Now, if you want lots of characters, Super 7 be the way to go because like I said, they have more characters. R.E.D series is slow on getting this stuff out. I mean, Hasbro is backlogged on crap. There is so much stuff coming out. Now, we did see new ones. I think there's Cheetor and a Transformers Prime RC coming out. So I guess it's a good thing they're not sticking strictly to G1. They're branching out for other people, other fans of other series. We got a little bit Beast Wars, a little bit Transformers Prime. So it just depends on what suits you. I know a lot of people hate non-transforming Transformers. Oh, it's in the name. Yeah, it's in the name. But I'm looking for the best representation of the characters as well. And I think the R.E.D series nails a good cartoon aesthetic. I think Megatron is a beautiful looking figure. Now, if you're just looking for something that nails the cartoon aesthetic and would be a nice posable shelf piece, Red Series is definitely a way to go. Prime looks really good, about spot on. Soundwave, he's pretty good. I would say he's probably the weakest of the three, and you know, I'm a big Soundwave fan. I know this video got a little long, a little winded, but I was trying to do a little comparison, try to go into as much detail as I could. Now, as I said, for 18 bucks, you're getting awesome packaging, card art, and a nice little retro style figure from Super7 on the ReAction figure line. The Red Series for around 20 bucks. You're getting kind of bland packaging, but you're getting a figure that has loads of articulation and a plethora of accessories. So if you don't mind having non-transforming Transformers, and you just want a good representation of the character, Red Series is a good way to go if you just want that nice, that good looking, posable statue-like figure on your shelf. If you want something that throws you back to being a kid, going to you know, Circus World, KB, whatever toy store you had, Toys R Us, and getting your Star Wars figure that costs around $2 off the peg, Super7 will do that, but it ain't $2. I want to say thanks for watching this video. If you like any of my videos, don't forget to subscribe down below. The thumbs up button is also down there. And if you'd like to support my channel and help me grow, I do have links down in the description below. Subscribing helps, liking the video helps, and then I have links down to where you can pre-order the new Transformers and everything. I have an Amazon storefront down below, and it will definitely help support my channel. I also sell a t-shirt. Check that out. It's down in the description below, offered from Teespring. Till the next one, peace out.